Aquí pueden ver la Machu.
On Saturday, March 16th, 2019, the world-famous site of Machu Picchu in Peru became the backdrop for an event that continues to stir curiosity and debate among those who follow the subject of unidentified flying objects. A tourist on a company trip accidentally captured an image of what appeared to be a UFO hovering in the sky above the ancient ruins. What makes the account so fascinating is not only the location where it took place, high in the Andes Mountains, at nearly 8,000 feet above sea level, but also the context in which the photograph was taken and the history of strange sightings connected to Machu Picchu. The visitor who reported the sighting explained that he was traveling with a group of about 20 colleagues, many of whom had brought along their spouses. He himself was accompanied by his wife, and like the others, he was simply enjoying the day, following the tour guide through the site and stopping often to take pictures of the ruins, the terraces, and the sweeping mountain views that make Machu Picchu one of the most photographed places in the world. Nothing seemed unusual during the visit itself. The group was focused on listening to the guide's explanations and capturing images of the site from every angle, and not one person claimed to see anything out of the ordinary in the sky above them. Later that evening, however, when the group returned to their hotel and gathered for dinner, one colleague asked a question that changed the atmosphere. "Did you see the UFO?" he said. At first, everyone laughed, thinking it was nothing more than a joke after a long day of sightseeing. But then he pulled out his camera and showed them a picture he had taken earlier that morning at precisely 10:58 a.m. In the image, there was a distinct object in the sky above the ruins, something that clearly did not belong to the landscape or to any normal aircraft. Suddenly, what had been dismissed as humour became the subject of serious discussion at the dinner table. The incident highlights a curious pattern that has long surrounded Machu Picchu. The site is already a place of mystery and awe, built in the 15th century by the Inca civilization, yet still not fully understood in terms of its purpose or construction. Perched on a ridge between two mountain peaks and often hidden by mist, the city is an engineering marvel, with terraces carved into the steep slopes, staircases linking multiple levels, and temples built with precision stonework that has endured centuries of earthquakes. Some of the blocks in the foundation are so massive that they are compared to railway wagons in size, yet they are fitted together without mortar so tightly that even a sheet of paper cannot slip between them. For many people, the construction of Machu Picchu raises questions about what kind of knowledge or technology the Inca might have possessed. Mainstream archaeology explains the site as a product of careful planning, large labour forces, and ingenious use of simple tools. Yet there are those who argue that the sheer scale and precision of the work defies explanation through conventional means. The idea that advanced visitors from beyond Earth could have played a role in guiding or assisting ancient builders has become a popular alternative theory, fueled by television programs, books, and lectures from figures such as Giorgio Tsoukalos, who often points to places like Machu Picchu as evidence of ancient astronaut involvement. It is within this atmosphere of mystery that modern UFO sightings at the site gain added weight. The 2019 photograph, whether interpreted as genuine evidence of something extraordinary or dismissed as a trick of the light, connects the ancient enigma of the ruins with present-day reports of aerial phenomena. Unlike many blurry or distant images of supposed UFOs, this photograph was said to clearly show a structured object above the ruins, positioned against a clear daytime sky. The fact that none of the tourists noticed it at the time has led to further speculation. Was the object moving at a speed too fast to be seen by the naked eye, but caught by the camera lens? Was it partially cloaked or hidden in a way that only technology could reveal? Or could it be something entirely ordinary, such as a drone or even a photographic anomaly? Those who lean towards skepticism argue that the image could be explained by modern tourism practices. Drones are sometimes used by visitors, despite restrictions around Machu Picchu meant to protect the heritage site. And these small aircraft can easily appear strange in photographs when caught at unusual angles or distances. Others suggest that lens flares, reflections, or even small specks on the camera can create illusions that resemble flying objects. Yet those who defend the sighting point out that drone use is heavily regulated in the area, and they note that the shape of the object does not match common drone appearances. For them, the image remains unexplained, and perhaps intentionally so. This is not the only sighting associated with Machu Picchu. For decades, reports have surfaced of strange lights and craft over the Andes. Visitors have described seeing glowing orbs that move silently at night, or metallic discs that shine in the daylight. Peru itself has a reputation for being a UFO hotspot, with another famous location, the Nazca Lines, often brought into the same discussions. The Nazca geoglyphs, massive drawings etched into the desert floor and visible primarily from the air, have inspired speculation that they might have been intended as messages or landing guides for beings from the sky. When Machu Picchu is considered alongside Nazca and other Andean mysteries, some believe the region as a whole carries a special significance for extraterrestrial observation. Theories about the 2019 Machu Picchu sighting are as varied as the people who discuss them. For those who support the idea of extraterrestrial presence, the UFO's appearance above the site is no coincidence. They argue that such places may act as points of interest, locations where advanced beings continue to monitor human activity or maintain a connection to past interventions. Others suggest a more earthly explanation, proposing that the object could be a secret military or experimental craft. Remote mountainous areas are often used for testing technology away from populated airspaces, and some argue that this could be the case here. Skeptics insist that the simplest explanation is usually the most accurate, pointing again to the possibility of a photographic artifact. And then there are cultural interpretations, particularly from Andean traditions, where the mountains themselves, known as apus, are considered sacred spirits. From this perspective, unusual lights or objects in the sky may not be alien machines, but manifestations of spiritual energy. The submission of the photograph to MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, ensured that the case would not vanish into obscurity. MUFON is one of the best-known organizations devoted to investigating UFO reports, and its database provides a structured record of such incidents. When a case is submitted, investigators typically review the credibility of the witness, consider possible natural or man-made explanations, and compare the details with similar sightings. For many UFO enthusiasts, MUFON's involvement adds legitimacy to reports that might otherwise be dismissed as anecdotal. The Machu Picchu sighting also occurred at a time when UFOs were gaining renewed global attention. In the late 2010s, several governments began releasing declassified documents about unexplained aerial encounters. Military pilots came forward with testimonies of strange craft that defied known physics, and mainstream media outlets, which for decades had avoided the subject, started to publish serious articles about the phenomenon. The stigma that once surrounded UFO reports was beginning to fade, and this shift meant that a story like the Machu Picchu sighting reached a wider and more open audience than it might have in the past. What makes this incident particularly compelling is how it bridges the ancient and the modern. On one hand, Machu Picchu stands as a monument to human ingenuity, yet at the same time as a mystery that some believe cannot be explained without considering outside intervention. On the other hand, the UFO photograph taken in 2019 is a reminder that questions about who might be watching us and from where remain as relevant today as they were centuries ago. The ruins, once hidden from the outside world until their rediscovery in the early 20th century, continue to hold secrets, and perhaps the skies above them do too. Now, let's discuss another UFO story from Machu Picchu. In August of 2011, a story began to spread from the highlands of Peru that would capture the imagination of people around the world. It started with a meteor streaking across the sky near Cusco, a city famous not only for its rich Incan history, but also for being the gateway to Machu Picchu, one of the most visited archaeological sites on Earth. On August 25th of that year, a massive meteor entered the atmosphere and blazed across the night, lighting up the Andean sky in a way that startled locals and tourists alike. The meteor was described as brilliant, fiery, and loud enough to be noticed by thousands of people. Many in Cusco thought it was an asteroid burning up, while others wondered if it had fallen to Earth somewhere in the mountains nearby. Witnesses recalled seeing a fiery streak that eventually broke apart into fragments before vanishing into the night. What followed the meteor became the focus of fascination. Just hours later, at Machu Picchu, a man named Domingo Calvo, who was vacationing with his family, accidentally recorded something that would make headlines in UFO circles. Calvo had set down his camera, not realizing it was still recording. During this time, several children in the area began pointing to the sky, noticing glowing objects that darted across the horizon. When Calvo reviewed the footage later, he found that the camera had captured what appeared to be a fleet of unidentified flying objects. These were described as orbs of light, moving quickly and vanishing just as suddenly as they appeared. Unlike airplanes, they showed no sign of navigation lights or consistent flight paths. Instead, their motion seemed erratic and at times coordinated, as if multiple glowing spheres were interacting in some sort of formation. The video soon spread online, uploaded the next day on August 26th, and quickly gained traction. Within a short time, it had millions of views, with people debating whether the strange lights were evidence of extraterrestrial activity, some atmospheric phenomena, or perhaps an elaborate hoax. According to the original posting, the footage had more than 12 million views, showing just how widespread the curiosity was. Many people were struck by the timing. First, there was the meteor passing over Cusco, a dramatic and verifiable astronomical event. Then, almost immediately after, there was this supposed sighting of a UFO fleet near Machu Picchu, one of the world's most mysterious ancient sites. The coincidence was too powerful for many to dismiss. Eyewitness accounts further fueled speculation. Children who were there claimed they saw the lights darting through the sky with their own eyes. Some described them as glowing orbs that looked different from stars or planes, moving in patterns that were hard to explain. Locals in the surrounding area also reported seeing strange lights after the meteor event, saying they seemed to hover and then vanish. This led to theories that the meteor may not have been a simple rock from space, but possibly connected to these objects. Some UFO enthusiasts speculated that the meteor had dispersed or triggered the fleet, suggesting that the fiery entry into the atmosphere might have been a cover for spacecraft entering or leaving the Earth's skies. Skeptics, on the other hand, were quick to provide alternative explanations. Some argued that the lights could have been satellites catching the reflection of the sun, or even debris from the meteor still glowing as it disintegrated in the upper atmosphere. Others thought they could be experimental aircraft or drones, although in 2011, drone technology was not yet as widespread as it is today. There were also suggestions that the glowing objects could be insects or dust illuminated by the camera's lens, though many who analysed the video argued that the speed and distance of the objects made this unlikely. The cultural backdrop of the sighting added another layer to the fascination. Machu Picchu, perched high in the Andes, has long been a place of mystery and speculation. Built by the Incas in the 15th century, it has inspired countless theories about lost civilizations, advanced knowledge, and connections to the stars. UFO researchers often link ancient sites like Machu Picchu, the pyramids of Egypt, and Stonehenge with extraterrestrial theories, suggesting these places were either built with alien assistance or serve as energy centers that attract such phenomena. For those already inclined to believe in these ideas, The fact that a UFO fleet was reportedly seen near Machu Picchu just after a meteor passed over Cusco seemed like too strong a sign to ignore. As the video spread across YouTube and other platforms, it drew comments from all over the world. Some viewers insisted the footage was genuine proof of UFOs. They pointed to the erratic movement of the orbs, their sudden disappearance, and the multiple witnesses present as strong evidence. Others dissected the footage frame by frame, looking for inconsistencies that might suggest it had been altered. Still, many agreed that Calvo's accidental recording, combined with the eyewitness reports, gave the sighting an unusual level of authenticity compared to many other UFO claims. The incident also raised questions about the meteor itself. Reports from Cusco described it as unusually large and bright, and some said they heard an explosion as it passed. While meteors are a common occurrence, the scale of this one made it stand out. In the days after the sighting, there was speculation about whether fragments of the meteor had landed in remote areas of the Andes. Some UFO researchers went further, claiming that the meteor might not have been a natural object at all, but rather a spacecraft entering the atmosphere under the guise of a meteor. To them, the fleet of UFOs seen later was not a coincidence, but evidence of a larger event connected to the meteor's passage. Local media covered the story with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. While some outlets reported on the UFO claims directly, others treated it more as an odd curiosity, highlighting the viral nature of the video and the attention it brought to Peru. International UFO communities, however, embraced the story, comparing it to other famous sightings where meteors or unusual lights in the sky were followed by UFO reports. The fact that this took place near Machu Picchu gave it even greater weight, since the site already holds such a powerful place in global imagination. Over the years, the 2011 Machu Picchu UFO sighting has remained a topic of debate. While skeptics continue to argue that natural or technological explanations are more likely, believers see it as one of the more compelling pieces of evidence in the modern UFO record. The combination of a widely witnessed meteor, an accidental recording capturing unexplained lights, and the presence of multiple eyewitnesses makes it difficult to dismiss outright. Even now, more than a decade later, the story circulates online, especially in UFO forums and communities that catalogue unusual events. Videos of the sighting are still shared, and discussions continue about whether the lights were truly extraterrestrial or simply a coincidence of natural phenomena happening at the same time. For those who believe, the 2011 Peru sighting represents not only a fascinating UFO case, but also a reminder that some of the world's most mysterious places may still hold secrets far beyond our understanding. The Machu Picchu sighting shows how quickly an ordinary family vacation video can turn into global speculation. Domingo Calvo likely had no idea that by setting down his camera at the right moment, he would capture something that would spark international conversation. The detail of children noticing the lights first adds a human element to the story, showing how easily the unexpected can slip past adults but catch the attention of younger eyes. Whether or not the objects in the video were truly alien, they became part of a narrative that blended natural wonder, cultural history, and the enduring question of whether we are alone in the universe. It happened on the morning of August 17th, 2016, when a group of tourists was following their guide through Machu Picchu, the Inca citadel tucked deep in the Andes. Among them was someone from the same company who had made the trip with about 20 colleagues, many accompanied by their spouses. This person, too, was travelling with his wife, and like the others, had been dutifully photographing the terraces, temples, and panoramic views. The group moved together through the site at the same spots, shooting from similar angles, capturing what was considered the classic Machu Picchu experience. No one noticed anything out of the ordinary until they returned to the hotel that evening. One of them, browsing through the day's photos, stopped at a particular shot taken at exactly 10:58 a.m. and noticed something odd. Floating above the ruins was a shining silver disc, smooth, metallic, unmistakably out of place. It wasn't a bird, a plane, or a cloud. It was a rigid, saucer-shaped object, calmly suspended in midair. With that discovery, the light-hearted conversation among colleagues turned serious. They had assumed it was just friendly teasing, when someone earlier had joked, "Have you seen the UFO?" Now they weren't so sure. What makes the story compelling is how it mirrors another sighting from 2019. In both cases, visitors shared the same path, took photos from similar vantage points, and none of them saw anything strange in real time. Only later, when reviewing their images, did the object become apparent. That evening, comparisons and unrest spread among them as they tried to puzzle out what they were looking at. Was it a trick of light? A lens flare? Or did someone spot something genuine? This 2016 photograph was submitted to MUFON under case number 99092. The sense of unease grew when some of the group reviewed the live photo version on their phone and caught movement. A flash of motion northeastward, an upward shift, then a downward arc, swift and deliberate. Whatever it was, it moved quickly and intentionally, as if aware of the camera focusing on it. The site where this unfolded hardly needs an introduction. Machu Picchu is perched nearly 2,500 meters above sea level in the Cusco region of Peru. Built in the 15th century by the Incas, this ancient citadel features terraces carved into mountain slopes, staircases connecting multiple levels, and structures built with such stone-cutting precision that not even a knife's edge slips between the blocks. It is one of the most mysterious and well-preserved archaeological wonders of the ancient world. Over the years, Machu Picchu has attracted many UFO reports. Enthusiasts argue the Inca builders may have had ancient help from beings beyond Earth, sending energy or visitors back to the site even now. In this frame of mind, a photograph of a disc hovering above the ruins feels less like a chance capture and more like proof of an ongoing connection. Skeptics, by contrast, suggest modern explanations. Could visitors have been flying drones, despite heavy restriction, around the site? Did the disc reflect the camera or the sun in such a way it appeared more structured than it really was? Or was it a photographic artifact, perhaps a lens flare or sensor glitch? Tourists and locals debated whether to dismiss it as a hoax or embrace it as a genuine mystery. In online UFO circles, it quickly became part of the broader narrative linking ancient sites with unexplained aerial phenomena. To some, the timing resonated with an almost ritualistic pattern. People arrive with cameras and reverence for a place known for its engineering marvels and spiritual significance. No UFO is seen in person. The image emerges later, in pixels rather than real life. The arguments surrounding the image are emotionally charged. Believers say it's one of the cleaner, more credible captures because of the clear shape and the multiple corroborating sources taking pictures at the same time. Skeptics accuse the sighting of lacking contextual evidence. No video, no motion besides what phones captured, no confirmation from future visits. Behind the debate lies a broader fascination with Machu Picchu itself. Discovered in 1911 by Hiram Bingham, though long known to locals, the citadel stands as a testament to human skill and mystery. Stones placed with exquisite care, staircases ascending steep slope, a landscape that combines architectural innovation with spiritual resonance. Whatever the skeptic might say about engineering ingenuity, it's plain that questions linger. How were such structures built without mortar or modern tools? Why was this site erected at such altitude and isolation? When mysterious shapes are photographed above it, the sense of mystery deepens. A shining silver disc hovering above the ruins in mid-August light seems to bridge the ancient past with a technological, possibly extraterrestrial present. So what are your thoughts on these mysteries? Tell us in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.